we're going to scrap relegation as a condition for the clubs who are against the neutral venue plan to go and vote in favor, what the hell is the point of playing the rest of the league? And what are we doing here in terms of league integrity if the bottom 12 clubs have absolutely nothing to play for, except for 1 or 2 extra £1 million, which the players probably won't get anyway because it's all going in wage reductions?
No, yeah, it is. It's all a self-interest in, Gab, and there is a magic word that solves everything in football, and it's money. And I think, let's just say they could come up with an idea where, last season, for instance, Liverpool were top of the earnings league with £154 million from the prize money pot. Huddersfield were bottom with £96 million. So maybe they say, look, we're going to get rid of that. Everyone's going to get the same money. So average it out, maybe it's £120 million each. So if Norwich get relegated, they've got an extra £25 million in the bank to help them get back up. But you're right, you can't have no relegation because it would just end the season for, 13, 14 clubs. And then they're talking about next, we could keep promotion. So we'll have 2 teams coming up from the Championship. So Leeds and West Brom come up. But next season, apparently, to balance it out, you'd have 5 teams relegated. Can you imagine the Premier League voting to have 5 teams relegated in one season? The same clubs that don't want to play at neutral ground just say, we don't want that.
By the way, are the Championship teams going to play on neutral ground as well?
Well, this is it. Nobody's mentioned this, and I can't imagine there are enough grounds to stage all these EFL games. But Leeds are a big club, so Leeds are Liverpool in a different league. So if and when Leeds win promotion, the problem that people are worried about with Liverpool will happen with Leeds. So are Leeds going to play their games at Barnsley or at Doncaster? No, they're going to play at Ellen Road or wherever they play. So,
but you can't have one way of playing, one way of finishing the Premier League season, and another way of finishing the Championship season, right? They have to do the same thing. Otherwise, it's completely stupid. If you allow them to play at home, all the normal games behind closed doors, and the Premier League have to play behind in neutral venues.
Yeah, look, I think what's going to happen, and it may take 2 or 3 weeks to happen, but I think we're going to get to a point where in 2 or 3 weeks' time, League One and League Two will end their season because they can't carry on playing behind closed doors because it means they're playing football and having to pay wages, pay bonuses without any income coming in. So it doesn't work for them.
We made that point a long time ago. There's no point in these guys continuing to play.
But I think that'll also creep into the Championship. I think a lot of the Championship clubs are in the same boat. There's only probably 2 or 3 clubs in the Championship that can sustain playing behind closed doors. So,
and they're not getting any TV money. So if they lose the TV money by not playing, it's not going to make much of a difference.
The TV deal in the EFL is £560 million over 5 years. So divide that by 71 clubs. That doesn't amount to a lot.
Well, and it's not even equal. I think it's something like I worked it out. Like the last quarter of the season would have been like 150 grand for League Two clubs.
So I do think it's going to creep along where league by league domino effect is going to get cancelled and decided by average points. And I think we may get to the point with the Premier League in 3 or 4 weeks' time, like you, Gab, say about your June 30th cut-off point, where it just doesn't work. If clubs are going to vote against playing at neutral grounds, what is the next solution? I think we might get to the point sooner rather than later where the leagues are cancelled because they can't play them. And we're not even talking about the medical issues yet.
Jules, I want to get your view. I need you to tell me that it's all going to be fine and they're going to play. Give me a percentage, Jules, and I'll ask you the same thing, Augie.
So, okay, I don't think they will play in June anyway. I think if they can play again, that would be in July because then they're just not ready to start again in 6 weeks with all the issues that we just mentioned and the shambles that things are currently. So I think if they really want to resume this season and play the remaining 92 Premier League matches, it won't be before July. So, and after that, you just need to reassure the players, like we said on Thursday. Right now, the players, and of course, they all want to play. We all want to see football back. But a lot of those players, top or second half of the table, doesn't matter, are really not sure about what's going on and what will happen if they play again. So I think the first thing is please put a protocol together, and that you would gain easily 20 or 30% chances more of playing if you have a place of, okay, you arrive to the stadium, it's a neutral venue, you get tested before you even go into the dressing room, everything, the whole place is sanitized and disinfected and all of that. You'll be tested after the game as well before you take your own car to go, whatever the protocol is, but you have to put something together, please. And then I'm sure the players will be more on board with that. But personally, I don't think that by June they would have done that at all.
Augie? Come on, cheer us up.
None of us wants football in a laboratory. That's what it feels like at the minute. It feels like, it has to be X, Y, and Z. It has to be ticked. Now, I think that if the government says to society in general that it is safe to go back to doing this to a certain level, I think football has to fall in line. You can't say to a bus driver or a shop worker or a construction worker that it's safe for you, but oh no, footballers, you're different, you're special. You have to have an even higher standard. If it's safe for people to go back to work, then footballers have to fall in line and deal with it. I think there's never ever a risk-free environment in any. Even before this, there was risk in everything. You know, a footballer's not going to get on planes again because they're scared it might crash. There's so many things that in life you have to be prepared to take a risk. Now, getting back to the question, do I think that football will come back? I'm beginning to think it won't. I think this season will end up being decided by points per game because there's so many issues. There are vested interest. There are. I just think it'll get to the point in June or July where people will give up and say, just call it off.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.